Tonight, Israeli officials telling NBC News they've proposed a 2-month stop in fighting in exchange for the release of all remaining hostages inside of Gaza. The proposal coming just hours after the families of those hostages stormed Israeli parliament demanding action and as fighting in southern Gaza intensifies. NBC's Raf Sanchez reports, and a warning, some of the video in this story is hard to watch.
Tonight, battles raging on the streets around Gaza's last major hospital. Al-Nasser in the southern city of Han Yunis is the largest medical facility still functioning in the Strip, but its staff overwhelmed by waves of the wounded and the dying. I'm telling you that the hospital is on the brink of collapse, says this doctor. Medics desperately short of supplies, but doing their best to treat 7-year-old Dunya for shrapnel wounds. Her ponytail cut off by doctors, lying on the bloody floor. Israeli forces have been fighting street by street in Han Yunis, hunting for Hamas leaders they believe are hiding in the city. The IDF says militants fired a rocket at them from the grounds of Nasser Hospital. That claim, unverified by NBC News, is raising fears Israeli troops may storm inside, like they did at Al-Shifa Hospital in northern Gaza last year. We traveled into Han Yunis with Israeli forces, following them into this tunnel where Israel says Hamas held around 20 hostages in an underground dungeon.
Are Israeli forces going to go storming into Nasser Hospital like they did at Shifa Hospital?
We are looking at Nasser Hospital, but we need to assess the situation.
So you're not ruling out going into Nasser Hospital?
We are assessing the situation.
Above ground, tanks rumbling through what were once neighborhoods. Destruction wherever you look.
In southern Gaza, the Israeli bombing has been less intense than in the north, but you can still see here there is devastation everywhere. One satellite analysis finds that in Han Yunis alone, up to 45% of the buildings have either been damaged or completely destroyed.
The fighting has sent thousands of Palestinians fleeing south, displaced once again, and hoping for safety near the border with Egypt. Tonight, Israeli officials tell NBC News they've proposed a 2-month pause in fighting in exchange for the release of the roughly 130 hostages still in Gaza. News of the proposal coming hours after hostage families stormed a parliamentary committee demanding action from the government. Among them, grandfather Gilad Korngold. "You will not sit here while our children die," he shouts. 7 members of his family were kidnapped on October 7th. We met him late last year.
If you could speak to your family now, what would you tell them?
I promise that I do anything to release them.
All right, Raf Sanchez joins us tonight from Tel Aviv. Raf, I want to go back to that reporting on the proposed 2-month pause in fighting. You've been covering this war for months. How realistic is this proposal?
So, Tom, there's no indication that a deal is imminent. You could argue the fact that Israel and Hamas are swapping proposals is potentially a positive sign, but the two sides still remain very far apart. Hamas is saying no more hostages will be released until there is a permanent ceasefire to end the war. Israel is saying the war will not end until Hamas is destroyed. So if there's going to be a deal, it's likely to be somewhere in between those two proposals. It is worth noting, as you saw in the piece, there is a lot of public anger in Israel towards the government of Prime Minister Netanyahu. Many people feel they are not doing enough to get the hostages out. So the fact that we're hearing about this proposal is a potential sign that that anger is having an impact on government policy. Tom.
And then, Raf, switching gears, just last week we ran our interview when I spoke to 2 of the Palestinian-American students who were shot in Vermont. They told me they had feared violence in the West Bank and Gaza, but not in the U.S., at least not like this. Now, just days after that interview, a U.S. teen with Palestinian roots shot dead in the West Bank. You spent the weekend reporting this story out, and you spoke with the teen's father. What did he tell you?
Yeah, Tom, we spoke to the father of Taufik Abdul-Jabbar. He was 17 years old, born and raised in Louisiana. He moved with his family to the occupied West Bank last year. That's where their roots are. And his short life came to an end on Friday. His family says he was killed by an Israeli settler while he was out with his friends. We saw the truck he was driving riddled with bullet holes when he was killed. And his father told us he was angry not just with Israel, but also for the United States. He is an American citizen himself, but he says his own country is supplying the weapons and the money which killed his son. And he said he has very, very little confidence that Israeli police will hold anyone accountable for his son's death.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.